Welcome back to Young Climber. We are back again, returning with one of Eswatini's prominent figures. It is music sensation and now actress of one of Eswatini's leading films. It is, of course, Mandisa Mamba, sitting right next to me to unpack her life, unpack her story, and how she became a part of the leading film, which is, of course, Gwangane. My name is Tabelo Dlamini. Thank you so much for choosing us once again and, sticking with us as we unpack these beautiful, beautiful stories. And Mandisa, welcome to you.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm all well. As a Maswati and the people that I've spoken to, we all have different backgrounds. We come from different places.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your setup, growing up? What was it like for you growing up? How was your background?
My background, I come from I'd say a single parent household. I was raised by my dad. And my siblings were always at school, boarding school, so it was always just me and my dad. I automatically became a daddy's girl. And my home was a home that was filled with music. My dad was always listening to music, and even when my siblings came back from school, I would be listening to their music. So it was just a home filled with music.
The Mandisa that I know, that I was introduced to, when I first met you or saw you, was the musician, the artist. Can we talk about your education from primary, high school throughout? What pursued you to then become an artist, in these experiences in your life?
Okay, my education, I went to Mobeni Preschool. I don't remember the name. Okay. I went to Sidney Williams Primary School, and then I went to 3 different high schools. Mbuluzi High School, WEM, and then Metropolitan for my matric. And in between, like I said, I'd come from a household that loved music. So I've always just loved music myself. But I think in grade 7, I would say, that's when I started discovering my own taste of music. One memory that I have, though, is when I was very young and I would come back from school and I'd just blast Brenda Fassie. My dad's records, just blast Brenda Fassie. So yeah, I think I've just always loved music, and as I grew, I just fell deeper in love with it. And it's not until I went into varsity that someone pushed me into it.
Okay. And we'll get into the details of that. Something that many Emaswati face, especially at young ages, is losing both parents, which is what happened to you, which is a very unfortunate and sad story. But here you are today, bright and beautiful. How did you manage to navigate life after this experience?
It's only with the help of family that I am who I am today. When both my parents passed on, I was taken in by family, and they honestly really just took me in as their own child. And that's how I navigated it. I wasn't necessarily doing it on my own. I was just surrounded and supported by family.
And you managed to pursue your dreams, right? Can we now get into the details of how you became an artist? When did you realize your singing passion, or Bovelu Kali National Anthem high school? Because we have those, that have been there. When did you then realize, I'm really good at this?
In varsity, like I said, I met someone that sort of pushed me into music, and they really encouraged me. I don't know why. I like to think of that person as an angel, because honestly, I don't know why. They didn't know me. I didn't know them. They just randomly came up to me and said, "Hey, can you sing?" And as I was thinking about it, they were like, "Okay, yes, you can. Come with me." And that was that. And they always pushed me to sing, write music. And honestly, I wasn't really into it until 5, 6, 7 years later. I know.
Before we get into the accolades, you are an awarded artist. But then can we talk about now, after 5, 6, 7 years later, who spotted you? How did you then become Mandisa Mamba, the brand?
I think, honestly, having my child really put things into perspective for me. It really made me think, who do I want to be? Who do I want to show up as? Who do I want my son to know me as? And that's my firstborn child. So during that time, I really sat and I started to sort of plot and plan my life as to who do I want to show up as in the world. And that's really how I decided, okay, I'm going to do music. Yeah.
And then now, how many years later, you're a big brand, an award-winning brand that is. Before you get into the acting part, you won accolades for best R&B artist, best collaboration, and song of the year, which features Amaphupho, which features DJ Ka. Beautiful song, by the way. How have these recognitions made you feel as an artist, and what has it done for your career?
It's definitely beautiful that people see me, that they acknowledge me, and that they love the work that I do. So it's definitely it's felt like support, basically. And it's also made people take me seriously. Like more and more people take me seriously. Just receiving the awards has really sort of put me out there even more. Yeah.
So Mandisa, you were once signed to a record label, New Life Entertainment. How would you say it's important for artists to be under a record label, and what are some of the benefits, you know, of being under a record label?
I would say the benefits of being under a record label are that you are surrounded by people who can help you focus on your vision. Financially, also, it's very helpful because you have that financial support, which allows you as the artist to focus on the art. Yeah.
And then what are some of the advices that you would give to artists? Because, you know, being signed to a record label is one thing, but there are also some challenges that you experience with the record label itself, you know. What are some of the advices that you would give to artists, particularly when it comes to, you know, contracts and, you know, making business decisions when it comes to what they give to the label?
Definitely make sure that you read the contract. You don't always have to just get into it immediately. You have the right to talk things through and just explain that this is what I want and this is how much I'm willing to give as an artist. And don't just rush to sign just because you see the glitz and the glamour, because at the end of the day, it is definitely going to bite you. So yeah, just make sure you read through. Don't hand it over to the next person to do it for you. Read through every page and make sure that your voice is heard in the process. Yeah.
And I think that really applies to any other profession.
Yeah.
But as a brand, you know, you've built a strong brand for yourself, and you've gained so much recognition, both locally and internationally, of course. How would you say, you know, building your brand stands out for you, and how did you manage to attract other brands? Because I've seen you perform. The first time I saw you perform, I was like, from the dress code to the way you deliver the performances, the backing. But can we talk about how you managed to, you know, attract certain things like bookings and how you made sure that your brand stands out?
I just take myself seriously, and I think that's the most important thing. When you're an artist, is to take yourself seriously and know that you yourself are a business. So handle yourself like a business. That's how you're going to be able to attract other people to come work with you, is if you treat yourself as a business. And I know this also Giangshula sometimes, but separate the emotional side of you to the business side. Like, make sure you separate the two. And yeah, you'll be fine. That's how I've been able to build who I am.
And the one interesting thing about you is that you are a part of the MTN Bushfire Firefly competition, which you won all the way back in 2017. And then you got to perform at the main festival. Can you just take us through that experience from applying all the way to Firefly and then at the main festival, and how this helped boost your career?
I remember applying. I was unsure and I was excited at the same time. But the moment I applied and I found out that I had gone through the top 10, that's when I was just like, okay, everything is just possible. And I remember asking people to help me. I found dancers that would help me push this dream of mine. And we got to the Firefly competition. We won that one. And when it was time to prepare for the Bushfire performance itself, I was like fortunate enough to still be able to work with the same people, same dancers. So we already knew what we had to do. We knew the standard of work we had to deliver. And yeah.
And you've headlined other major shows like the Divas concert, where there was also Kelly Kumalo, of course, and Lesotho Vodacom All White. Can you tell us how you typically prepare yourself mentally and, of course, physically for a performance?
I always treat each performance as if it's my first one. So I prepare as if I've never done it before. I do all the steps, I practice, I make sure I know the lyrics, because sometimes you forget the lyrics because there's a lot happening there and you get distracted.
And then you're like...
Yeah. So I practice as if I've never heard the song. I practice as if I've never performed in front of people, and that's just how that's my method. Yeah.
Mandisa, we'll get into more of you. I think there's so much to unpack, especially now that we'll be tapping into the actress side of you, the businesswoman in you, but that is only when we return. Welcome back. Today we are hosted by Eswatini's Prime Hotel, which is of course Happy Valley Hotel, located in eZulwini. They have so many offerings, from a casino to conference rooms, accommodation, and most specifically dining. They give you the best dining experience, and they are offering buffet services on weekends for all eMaswati to enjoy. So if you're feeling hungry on the weekend and you do not want to cook, Happy Valley is definitely the best place to be. But our beautiful guest still joining us, still unpacking your music life. Nyalo, ngifuna challenge a little bit. Out of all of the songs that you have, I need you to pick your 3 favorite songs and why you prefer these songs. Even music videos. I've seen some of your music videos. Quite a questionable. Anyways, just we're going to take a land, but let's talk about your 3 music.
I'd say the first one is OHBD, which is $100 billion.
Yes,
and I love that one because it's a high vibrational song, and then just I'm sort of like talking my, you know. And then the second one I would say is Pain, because it allowed me to be vulnerable and emotional, which I kind of not am on a daily basis. The third one. Love Fiend. Yeah, I think Love Fiend. Yeah, because it was my first song with a music video. Yeah.
And now, out of all of your milestones, which one would you say you hold dear to your heart, and why?
Can I say 2?
Yes, please, definitely.
The first one would obviously be winning the award for Best R&B Artist. And the second one would be being nominated for Best Female Artist in Southern Africa. Not in my wildest dreams, but I think that would happen very soon in my career. And also just that allowing me to travel and go to Ghana and experience the different side of the music industry and how they on the other side do the awards and how big it can be. That's a highlight. That was exciting.
And now we talk about the shift, the turnaround of things. Not saying you neglected your music career, because the last time I spoke to you, I think you had an album. But now you just really digressed. It's still in the creative industry, but then you shifted to acting. When did that happen? How did that realization come about?
It's always been in me. I come from a family that is filled with artists. One of my brothers was a hip hop artist, and the other one is a writer and an actor. So Wusekaya Bona all the time. So it's always been in me, and I've always wanted to do it secretly, but I never really spoke about it. I was very vocal about the music side of me. So yeah, the acting has always been there.
And then we talk about your audition. Preparing that audition. Maybe you took 20 tapes. Can you just talk us through the process? How did you prepare your audition for Bagangwana?
It was very quick because I saw a poster. Someone sent me a poster about it, and literally the next day I think was like the cutoff date. So I went. I called. Was it a call? I can't remember if I had to send an audition tape or I had to text someone to say, oh, I had to text someone to say I'll be coming to the audition. So I didn't really have time to prepare for them.
Yeah.
And they had said they will give us scripts when we get there. So it's not like I have time to, you know, practice something at home. So that when I got there, they gave us scripts and read the script there and there, and it was showtime. I was so nervous the whole time.
And then now when you officially got the role, you know, you were within. Can you tell us, did you know from the onset when you auditioned, Gutsi, you'll be playing this specific character, or they just gave you a script?
No.
And then, of course, when you got it, you then found out that you were playing Queen Koshio.
Yeah.
How did you prepare yourself, or how did you become her, or how did you plan on portraying her, most importantly?
So firstly, I didn't know that I was going to be, you know, casted for a big role.
Yeah.
You know, but once I got the news, I was so happy. I remember I got it via phone call, and they were telling me, "Oh, you got a lead role, and you're going to be playing the Queen." I was like, "What?
Yeah.
No, little me? No way!" And I was just very excited about it and preparing for it. I did a lot of research. Also borrowing from neighboring countries and just watching how back in the older days, because Bona, in the neighboring countries, they have the footage already.
Yes.
So I just did my research by watching different programs and also reading up about olden day queens on the internet. And yeah, I'd say that's how I prepared, and obviously just at home, practice.
And your experience working with the crew specifically, you know, from the directors, costume designers, makeup artists, producers, what are some of the things that you also picked up, you know, that just grew you as a person, Jay?
Definitely people skills. Because I'm always at home, I'm a homebody. So I never really get to interact with people unless I'm on stage.
Yeah.
So just working closely with a large group of people really helped me learn how to work with people, how to speak with people, how to be in an environment, and just be respectful about the work that we're doing. Yeah.
And what advice would you give to, you know, aspiring actors in the Kingdom of Eswatini, considering the fact that I do believe that for your audition you had to go to Joburg, so it wasn't right here in Eswatini.
No.
What are some of the chances that you could, you know, advise them to take like you did?
Well, the auditions were here in Eswatini.
Okay.
Yeah. But the advice I would say, just keep on pushing, keep on auditioning. It's not like you're going to get your big role, you know,
like
on your
you.
first. I know it sounds
crazy,
bad,
yeah.
you know, coming from me, because it happened for me. But I didn't go in there just hoping it was going to happen that way. It's just, it's God's timing. So that's how things work, God's timing. So just keep practicing, just keep going for auditions. And even for me, just because I have this role, it doesn't mean everything is set for me now. I still have to practice. I still have to go for more auditions. I might get something, I might not get something. That's just how the entertainment industry is. You just have to keep on trying and trying and trying.
Which leads me to asking, what is the future for you in the acting space, and where are you putting your music? It's a Nyalole hierarchy. Is it you, businesswoman? Is it you, actor? Or is it you, the musician? How are you planning, you know, to develop yourself in all of these careers?
I've come to learn to sort of go with the flow, and right now what the universe and what God has put in front of me is acting, and so that's what I'm going with right now. And when it's time for me to be the musician, I'm definitely gonna step up to that and be the musician. And yeah, that's basically just going with the flow.
And you know, you also worked as a event project manager at House on Fire. How did this contribute to your career, you know, especially in the creative industry? Did it have any contribution to the person that you chose to become?
It definitely did. It definitely did. It really upped my work ethic. It also sort of reminded me what it's like to wake up at 5 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, it really upped my work ethic. It just showed me also how much of an intelligent person I am, and how creative I am, and how much, if I really put my mind to it, I can do it. Yeah.
And now balancing your life as a mom, businesswoman, actress, which is not ongoing now, but now you're focusing more on your businesses, I believe, which is of course the Mandisa Mamba Luxuries, and of course Regal Eswatini, which I love so much. You know, have spectacular offerings there. Can you tell us about those businesses and what's going on with them?
So for now, Mandisa Mamba is on hold. I'm trying to figure out the right direction to go. I want to do more with it, but I also don't want to rush it. So it's on hold for now. Regal is my new baby. I started the business last year, and I sell accessories, handbags, earrings, sunglasses, and I've always been a fashion girly, so it's just, it comes naturally for me. So it comes naturally for me, and I'm having fun with it. I'm making money. That's the most important part.
You get it every day, at least. Now, can we please talk to the young people who are aspiring to be, you know, artists, who are aspiring to be actors, actresses, and of course aspiring to be entrepreneurs, most importantly. How did you manage to take that leap of faith and reaching where you are today? Can you just, you know, give them a bit of advice on how to become?
Definitely just believe in yourself. You'll be surrounded by people who will tell you, no, you're not good enough. No one has ever been the best from day one. We all start a little, you know, but just know that you don't have to be perfect. Just practice every time and allow yourself to start small. Number two, I think the most important thing that aspiring artists need to know is that you need to make sure that you're financially secure. Like, don't leave your day job or start that business on the side, because it's our career in the arts is very tricky. Sometimes you get a lot of money and then tomorrow there's literally no income coming. And so if you really want to be sane in this entertainment industry of ours, make sure that you've got your finances right.
And what are some other, you know, careers that we can tap into as young Emaswati, especially in the creative industry, which I feel that you have explored, you've experienced, you know, performing. There are people on the stage helping you work things out. What are some other jobs that you have seen are available for Emaswati to do?
In the entertainment industry, you say? There's a lot of things to do. There's being a makeup artist, which supports the artist. You can be a fashion designer, you can be a stylist, you can help the artist create content, you can be a manager, so many things to do. You can be a camera person,
And just lastly, before we wrap up, what is next for the brand Mandisa Mamba?
I think I've gotten to a point where all the little parts of me are now starting to come together, like the acting, the entrepreneur, the businesswoman, the musician. All these little things are starting to come together and make sense. So I think I'm at a point where I'm now just tying everything in and creating a full brand in all these different spaces.
All righty. Thank you so much, Mandisa, for joining us today. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up our story, but we could go on and on and on. You know, what I like about sitting with individuals such as you is that you're such an inspiration to Emaswati, and we hope that you'll continue to, you know, shine your light across all Eswatini and of course the world, which is what we want to see. We want to see you in the next big films all over the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, that was Mandisa Mamba. Please do stream her music. It is still out there. She is still an artist, very much an artist, beautiful at that. Otherwise, please do also go check out the movie Mbagwangwane, where you will get to see her play the role of Queen Kosheo. But other than that, we are bowing out. We are loving you. We are leaving you. But until next week, Tuesday at 6:30, it is good night.